Season 3, No More Nice. This episode is entitled Sacrificial Hydration. Some of us become emotionally dehydrated, constantly pouring and hydrating everyone else while neglecting ourselves. We made sure everyone else was supported with our resources and the people that we knew, that they were heard, that they were encouraged, that they were comforted, that they were understood and emotionally hydrated, while quietly becoming exhausted and dehydrated ourselves. And eventually, our body starts to notice what the mouth keeps minimizing or stays silent about. Hey y'all, I'm Madison Simone Chase, also known as Miss Chase. I was raised by an incredible single mom who is my biggest fan and my best friend, my bestie, my BFF for real. I am a celebrity certified personal trainer, fitness and wellness expert, and sports and entertainment media host. I was born in Fort Worth, raised in Dallas, and built in Los Angeles, California. I trained at Juilliard in New York City with the School of American Ballet, becoming the world's only 3-time ESPN Miss Fitness champion, appearing in over 450 fitness DVDs. The first of those 400 DVDs and infomercials was led by celebrity trainer and the GOAT Gunnar Peterson, known for training the Kardashian family. As a certified celebrity personal trainer, I've worked with Robert Pattinson of Twilight and Batman, Chris Tucker of Rush Hour, and Amber Riley of Glee, Dancing with the Stars, and The Masked Singer champion. And as a sports and entertainment media host, I've had the joy of interviewing Richard Branson, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Emma Stone, Viola Davis, Tyler Perry, and Tiana Taylor, to name a few. I share my story not to toot my own horn, but to honor the millions of sacrifices my mom planted in me and still planting in me so that I can blossom into the woman I am still becoming. So if you're listening at home, I want you to pull up a real chair. If you're listening online, I want you to pull up a digital chair and grab yourself some hot herbal tea. And welcome to my cozy home of Cut to the Chase at 8, now C2TC8, Her Circle, which stands for High Performing, Empowered, and Ready to Thrive Men and Women. And it is a 15-minute micro-learning moment for macro living transformations. And I am so overjoyed that you are here, because this is where we explore life, spirit, mind, and body through lived experiences, mine and yours, and intentional growth and decision making. So join me daily for just 15 minutes, twice a day at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, because this is your daily pause for a cause, for clarity, for wellness, for allowing grace in this space, in whatever space you may be in whatever season you may be in, and for intentional decision making. Each episode, my offer to you is 3 keys and 1 reflection question. And my sincere prayer and hope is that these 3 keys are something practical, grounded, and something we could carry with us throughout our day. So let's take a breath together. We're going to inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's cut the noise. Let's get clear. Let's get ready. Let's get set. And let's grow. Some of us become so focused on making sure everyone else is and was emotionally okay that we stop checking in on ourselves. We become the listener, the counselor, the therapist, the encourager, the supporter, the manager, the stylist, the makeup artist, the helper, the emotionally available one, the calm one, the fixer, the understanding one, the dependable one, the strong one, and the nice one. because this is the No More Nice series. And many of us, we were praised for it initially. But the minute we start setting boundaries with people, then we're not praised anymore. Because we were praised for how much we could carry, how much we could give. We were praised for how much we could minimize ourselves and how much we could tolerate, how much we could suppress our thoughts and our dreams and our destiny. And we were praised for how available we stayed. We were praised for how much we gave. And we were praised for how much we poured into others while quietly becoming emotionally dehydrated ourselves. And because we were still functioning, still showing up, still responding, still helping, still being a therapist, still smiling, still attending, still supporting, many people never noticed how depleted we were becoming internally. Sometimes not even us. Because emotional dehydration does not always look dramatic. It's that slow drip of thirsting for water. Sometimes it looks like constant exhaustion, brain fog, resentment, emotional heaviness, disappointment, withdrawal, difficulty focusing, loss of joy, disconnection, or feeling emotionally drained after every interaction. And many of us have normalized that exhaustion. We called it being busy, being needed, being strong, being supportive, being patient, being dependable, when really many of us have become emotionally overextended. And over time, some of us started pouring from obligation instead of overflow. And that changes everything, or at least it should. Because healthy people giving to other people should not continuously deplete us. Healthy relationships should nourish us too, should pour into us too. There should be a reciprocity. Healthy environments should replenish us too. And this could also be in if you're serving in a ministry setting as well. Healthy connections should not require chronic emotional dehydration. But many of us learned very early our value came from our usefulness, from helping, from serving, fixing, supporting, rescuing, encouraging, carrying, letting people dump on you, showing up for everyone else emotionally, and eventually we become so externally focused we stop recognizing our own depletion. We knew when everyone else was struggling. We knew when everyone else was hurting. We knew when everyone else was suicidal. We knew those things. Everyone else was overwhelmed, but we ignored our own exhaustion. And eventually, the body notices what we continue minimizing emotionally. The nervous system notices. The fatigue notices. The irritability notices. The emotional heaviness notices. Because when we were never meant to continuously pour outward without being poured inward and without replenishing ourselves. And healing sometimes begins when we finally ask ourselves, what environments, relationships, group dynamics, or emotional patterns have left us constantly poured out? Some of us are now learning how to conduct a P.P.T and S.A.C audit. That is a people, places, and things audit and a spontaneous assertive communication audit. And it's not from resentment. It's not from disappointment. It's not from unresolved grief, but from a place of clarity. So the P.P.T audit is people, places, things. The S.A.C audit can be spontaneous or spiritually aligned, authentic communication, assertive communication. So S.A.C can stand for several things. It can stand for spontaneous, assertive communication. And in this episode, we're also inviting another S.A.C, which is spiritually aligned, authentic, consistent communication. Because moving forward, many of us are learning to recognize what reciprocal hydration actually looks like. And not just who receives from us, but who replenishes us too. Not just who calls when they need support or when they need advice on something they're doing creatively, but who creates emotional safety, consistency, honesty, care, presence, and reciprocity. And sometimes that has you sitting in isolation because there has to be a moment where you reevaluate, or when you begin to communicate spontaneously assertive communication or spiritually aligned communication, people step back because now you start to have boundaries. And sometimes our lived experiences can teach us, right? We just have to be willing to learn. And sometimes our lived experiences can change how we define what friendships mean altogether. Recently, my lived experience, I remember watching someone I care about deeply and loved. I watched this person as their alleged best friend, bestie, BFF, say that they were best friends and they'd been friends for a while. And I watched what this person said online while they were alive. Yet after that person passed away, there was little to no acknowledgement of their life, their passing, or their impact. Not even a post, and nor was I informed of this person's passing until I started to research on my own what happened to my dear friend that I was checking on and concerned about, that I was willing to actually go to another state to visit them before they passed. But the person that was their alleged best friend never communicated with me. And that experience stayed with me because it made me reflect deeply on what mutual care, honor, presence, and reciprocal connection truly looks like. And my prayer for us, for you, for me, moving forward is that we build friendships and community rooted in reciprocal care and love for your neighbor as you love yourself, where people pour into each other equally, support each other honestly, grieve each other sincerely, and celebrate each other genuinely, and give people their flowers while they're here. And not just in words, but in action, and remain present beyond convenience. The kind of friendship we see reflected in David and Jonathan. The kind of sisterhood reflected in Nia Long and Regina King. The kind of brotherhood reflected in Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart. Or the kind of lifelong connection and business partnership reflected in Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. The kind of enduring support reflected in Cameron Diaz and Drew Barrymore, and the kind of advocacy and care reflected in Marilyn Monroe and Ella Fitzgerald. It's not perfection, it's not performance, but mutual care, mutual presence, mutual pouring, because some of us became emotionally dehydrated trying to maintain connection, approval, peace, access, belonging, or usefulness. And eventually we realize being emotionally needed is not the same thing as being emotionally nourished. And that realization should change us, not into harder people, but into honest people. Because when we finally recognize constant emotional pouring without replenishment eventually creates depletion, and depletion is not sustainable. So our 3 keys for this episode. Key number 1, some of us become emotionally dehydrated, constantly pouring into everyone else while neglecting our own emotional well-being and hydration. Key number 2, Being emotionally needed is not always the same thing as being emotionally nourished, valued, or replenished. Key number 3, healthy relationships and environments should allow mutual care, emotional reciprocity, replenishment, honesty, and emotional balance, not chronic depletion. Our one reflection question: where in our lives have we normalized emotional exhaustion, depletion, or overextension simply because we were praised for always being emotionally available to others? So before you go, I want to say thank you truly for sharing this time with me. It has been an honor sitting with you and praying for grace in this space and season that we're in. So let's quickly revisit today's 3 keys. Key number 1, some of us become emotionally dehydrated, constantly pouring into everyone else while neglecting our own emotional well-being and emotional hydration. Key number 2, being emotionally needed is not always the same thing as being emotionally nourished, valued, or replenished. Key number 3, healthy relationships and environments should allow mutual care, emotional reciprocity, emotional replenishment, emotional honesty, and emotional balance, not chronic depletion. And your one reflection question that we're going to sit with: where in our lives have we normalized emotional exhaustion, depletion, or overextension simply because we were praised for always being emotionally available to others? So if today's episode offered you clarity, grounding, or a pause for a cause you didn't know you needed, please subscribe, share this with someone you care about, download this episode, and leave a comment so that this isn't a monologue but a dialogue. And please leave a 5-star rating if you feel led. And remember, every new 30 episode series begins on the 15th of each month, with new episodes released twice a day for 15 days at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time for 15 consecutive days. So whether you're joining us in the morning for clarity or in the evening for reflection, there's always a seat for you here in this community, healing together. So let's close with one breath. We're going to inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. and again at 8 p.m. Central. This is Cut to the Chase at 8, C2C TC8. HER, which stands for Her High Performing, Empowered Women and Men Who Are Ready to Thrive Circle. With me, Madison Simone Chase. Let's cut the noise. Let's get clear. Let's get ready, set, grow, and go and be great. Blessings to you and yours until tomorrow.